Those of you who know me may be wondering, what am I doing inside a church? After all, I'm a sinner. But I've come to the church today because one of my dear friends, Father William, has never drank coffee, and so I wanted to come and rescue him from his pit of despair in tea. How are you, Father?
Okay, hi. I never thought of tea and coffee that way.
We're here at the Church of the Sacred Heart in Naalehu, Hawaii. So one of the things that I've noticed in different coffee origin areas, and Naalehu, which is in the Ka'u district, is one of those areas, is that it's really difficult to get great coffee in coffee growing regions. So there's been a new flurry of coffee shops that have been opened in the area, especially here in Naalehu. So we're gonna spend today and go check them out and see how coffee is and introduce Father William here to some hopefully nice coffees.
But I'm not a coffee connoisseur, you are. I'm a tea connoisseur, so I guess we're not gonna get drunk off of those.
Challenge accepted. No.
Well, then we should head out there. So we're gonna try 3 in this area. Ka Lae. So we're gonna go to Punalu'u, turn right.
Turn right? Is Ka Lae Coffee?
Ka Lae, yeah, that's where we're going. Ka Lae Coffee.
It's just over here.
I'm gonna crash there, Father.
This used to be the store for when the plantations were around, and also the paymaster, but it's gone now. And Dr. Julif, he just retired on the 31st of last month because of heart conditions. So, and that's pretty much it at the town. Now it's an Ace Hardware.
Hello. What we're interested in is coffee.
Yeah.
What's your best coffee?
I would say our Americanos are very popular if you're just wanting like a black
What's the
coffee.
best quality? Because you grow your own coffee?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
so
what's
our
your best
coffee
quality?
is 100% Ka'u coffee. It's grown like 4 miles up the road.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say if you want just black coffee and Americano with a little bit of cream is really good. Or we could do lattes. Those are delicious if you want more like milky, creamy kind of drink.
Let's do the Americano.
Americano?
Hot,
All
please.
right. What size would you like? We have small, medium, large.
How many shots in each one?
So we have 2 shots for the small and then 3 shots for the medium and large.
Let's just do the small, please.
Small, all please.
Do you want any room for cream or sugar in that?
No, just like that.
Just fine. Okay. So it's a little hot and we ran out of sleeves. So did you want a second cup?
Yeah, why not? That sounds
Okay.
great. That sounds great. Evidently, they only have Americanos, and so it's going to be a little bit of a different experience. Americanos basically are double shot of espresso, and espresso is basically a concentrated way of brewing your coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then they dilute it with water to create a 12-ounce drink.
Oh, okay.
Right, so it's called Americano because back in the World War II, American soldiers were in Italy. They only made espresso in Italy, and they wanted to have American-style coffee, so the Italians started diluting their espresso, calling it Americano. But since you gave us 2, I can split them, and then we can kind of share.
It's lighter in color.
experience. It is lighter in color.
It's a lighter taste or smell.
Now be careful then, because they're using the water from the espresso machine, it's superheated, so it's much hotter than the coffee
noticed.
we're drinking
And
earlier.
they didn't give you the sleeve. How rude.
Well, they ran out. That's
Oh,
why they
okay.
gave us double cup.
Oh, I see.
So-
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Now, one thing we could do is we could also wait for it to cool down a little bit more.
Yeah.
That will give it, when it's really hot, it occludes the flavor of the coffee. So as it cools, you get better representation of the flavor.
Well, this is not as strong as the other one.
And the
you know?
bitterness is much lower.
Yeah. It doesn't have that charcoal as much. I can taste it.
You still can taste
It's like a roasting. I guess that's
Okay.
the roasting process. Maybe because my palate is delicate for tea, you know. I don't know.
For me, I don't get the roastiness like that.
Well, I get it as a slight flavor.
Okay.
It's not overpowering as the other one was. This one is livable,
Okay.
but maybe the espresso would have been, better by itself. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't go the espresso route. Since this is your first round of coffee, I didn't want to hit you with this heavier, intenser kind of coffee. Since we had previously brewed coffee,
Yeah.
I wanted to have more of an apples to apples kind of comparison between the places.
But I do like this one better because it's not as strong.
Right.
But
I agree.
reminds me of a pea berry, but this one is not bad.
To me, it's lighter bodied, and I get a little bit of like a citrusiness, almost like a bergamot-ish character to it.
That's one I didn't recognize in that.
I was getting a little bit of maybe a kind of mandarin character to it, but it could be more of a bergamot-ish.
There's a Millieur of Flavors in this thing.
Because to me, it's a crisper coffee.
Yeah.
And definitely a brighter, like a little bit of acidity to it.
Yeah. I think I can live with this. With maybe cream and sugar, of course.
With cream and sugar, of course.
I don't know if I can take it flat, or what do you call it, straight?
Straight. We're taking it straight now.
I know, but I don't know if I can take it forever. You know?
Forever and ever.
I like the cream, that it makes it more subtle. I know it flattens the flavors a little bit, but to me it also brings out a lot more flavors with the cream and the sugar.
Really?
It brings out the bergamot, it brings out the tea flavor.
Okay. If I put milk into the tea, I find it to be a little bit diminishing, but a little bit of sugar, I do find pops the flavor, for me personally.
Wonderful explanation on that one. With the acidity in this, or the earthiness still, I think the cream would help. Well, maybe I'd have to try it without cream and just put some sugar in there.
You want some sugar?
No, I'm good right now.
Okay.
I'm just getting used to the stuff. Now, I know maybe I can get pastries from next door at Punalu'u Bakery and then have some coffee over here.
This would go well with Lilikoi Malasadas.
Yes, but I think with the sweetness of the Lilikoi and this coffee, it would blend.
We should find out. I'll be right back. All right, we can't. The line was too long. We just have to like
imagine
based on our tasting of the malasadas before.
I think this would accentuate the malasada because it's very sweet. It's got that citrus of the lilikoi.
Punalu'u Bakery makes this malasada that has lilikoi, like a topping on it, a frosting, and it's really, really sweet. Like you said, the acidity and the sweetness kind of overpower it a bit. I agree with you. I think this would be
perfect for that.
Perfect with it, perfect. And I gotta say, the malasada here, that was the best malasada I've ever had. Like, you know, the other malasadas are spongy and like they're springy, but they're also kind of dry.
Yeah.
This is really nice and moist and delicious, and I think it's the best one I've had yet.
Like I've told people, always trust the fat man. We know where to eat.
We speak with authority today.
Yes, we do. Not just because of the collar either.
All right, so how about conclusions about the coffee?
This I would like it, and I like it more since it's not as hot. It's more lukewarm. This is fine.
So it is very enjoyable.
But a good Earl Grey would be good too.
I think this has a lot of like tea characteristics that are similar to
Maybe
Earl Grey,
that's why
to
I
me.
like it, because it does have that quality. I would drink this, you know, especially on a cold day. You know, if I was back in Wisconsin, back in the seminary, I would probably survive on this if they didn't have tea.
All right, there it is. Where are we again? We are at Ka Lae Coffee.
Right next to Punalu'u Bakery, down the street from the cemetery, and
behind the Ace Hardware.
Behind the Ace Hardware and the paymaster's house, or paymaster's office.
All right, we got one more stop to make, so let's get hit it.
All right, mahalo.
Heading out to a place called Miranda's Coffee.
So we have 3 different varieties of coffee that we grow here from farm to top. Funny thing is, I don't drink coffee.
Okay, now you need to come back to where you were. Don't move from where you were. Slide back a little bit. Okay. Make it so
I can see.
Beautiful.
you're so good. All right.